Hello. So do you guys remember that second computer I had to get because my first one apparently had water damage even though I didn't spill anything on it? Yeah, well then that one stopped working. Say hello to computer number 3. My day has been very hard. It took me 3 hours to convince these salespeople that I'd only had the computer for about a week and that I had every right to switch computers. At one point, he tried to convince me to pay $80 to get it fixed. When I can get a new computer for free thanks to the warranty? No, thank you. Anyways, this is computer number 3, and I hope it stays. Do you guys remember that mom that freaked out because her daughter read The Hunger Games and she had nightmares at night? And she said they were inappropriate for the school system and were too graphic and violent and blah, 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 blah. Overprotective mothers are so cool. I would really like that mom to read the Gone series. I'm pretty sure she would have a seizure. The Gone series by Michael Grant doesn't seem that complicated at first glance. Everyone over the age of 14 disappears, leaving a group of very young people to fend for themselves in Perdido Beach. And of course they turn on each other, try to pick leaders, people fight for power. But let me assure you, this is a very weird series. But like weird in a good way. If you don't know the series, or if you just need a recap, here's how it goes. Everyone goes missing. People go crazy. Some kids have powers. Some kids do not. The kids who do not are all really annoying. You have powers, you're a freak. Let's fight. This seems necessary. I mean, we're all starving and confused and scared out of our minds, plus there's no adults around. I think the first thing we need to get done is have a war. There's not a lot of logic in these kids, and sometimes that makes sense. Other times, no. See, Sam Temple's just an ordinary guy. Well, not really. He has superpowers, he can shoot lasers from his hands, but everyone always kind of expects him to be the leader. And he usually steps up, though he does have those moments, and I don't want to be the leader. Which kind of makes sense because all the kids in Perdido Beach are obnoxious in their own special way. Anyways, Sam falls for Astrid, the genius. Astrid subsequently falls for Sam. Kane, who you find out is Sam's twin brother, comes all the way down from Coates Academy to try to take over the world, or at least a very small portion of the world. And then they battle it out and see who the last kid standing is. Now, I'd give you a summary of the second and third book, but to be honest, there's really not much plot change from there. It just gets more disturbing with each book. Like talking coyotes and flesh-eating bugs and kids getting eaten. You know, just the normal kid stuff. They all kind of go something like this. We're starving! What do you want me to do? Be a leader! Why don't you guys all help yourself and stop fighting? Do you think that'll work? And then about halfway through the book, Kane decides he wants to rise up and try to take the power back. And then somehow manages to epically fail every single time. And then Sam, who is generally hated and despised throughout the entire book, is called upon by the poor dying children, and he comes and saves everybody. But don't get too excited because in the next book, they all forget that he saved their lives and hate him again. But there is something addicting about these books. I'm not sure what it is. Most of the characters annoy me. I think it just has that I want to know what happens next effect. Now this is a review about Plague, and that's the 4th book. So if you don't want to watch this until you get caught up on 1, 2, or 3, come back to me later. Here are the pros of Plague. Finally, the plot is changing. And besides it being completely disturbing and disgusting at parts, I mean like Kane and Diana. Who would want to sleep with Kane? Basically, if you're gonna read it, have a barf bag right next to you. I loved that Sam wasn't with Astrid. It's not that I don't like Astrid or don't like Sam, it's just that Sam and Astrid together in the same place for an entire book is just too dysfunctional for me. Way too dysfunctional. Basically, it was cool to see Sam doing his own thing and then Astrid doing her own thing. In this case, it was Sam going to find a source of water, and Astrid slowly and annoyingly going insane. Darkness, the big villain, is getting So diabolical. And by diabolical, I mean super creepy. Let's just say I really hope Diana isn't pregnant with a darkness baby, because I'd hate to read how that birth goes. For Nesme and Bella, Diana's giving you a run for your money. Anywho, the worst part about this book was surprisingly Astrid. I'm actually a pretty big Astrid fan, because Astrid is the one, when everything is going crazy, who goes, whoa, guys, I don't know if you've noticed, but we're starving, we have no water and no parents. Can we set this current pointless dilemma aside for a future date and try to survive for a little bit? But the whole book was just her going nuts over little Pete. I'm a horrible person. I wanted to kill my little brother. I should die. I believe in God still, right? No, I don't believe in God. Yes, I do. I don't believe in God. Holy cow, Astrid. Take a chill pill and use all those smarts that you had the last 3 books that seem to have disappeared. The other part that really annoyed me was little Pete. Actually, he's been annoying me for quite some time now. I mean, I get it. He's a little autistic kid. That's really sad. But tell me I'm not the only one reading the book thinking, oh my gosh, seriously, little Pete? Seriously? I know you're autistic, and I know you don't know what you're doing, but seriously? It has nothing to do with his autism, just his character in general. I don't even know how to describe it. He just bugs me. Now, the other worst part, Sam and Astrid's relationship. You know something's wrong when your relationship is more dysfunctional than Cain and Diana's relationship. Astrid, I love you, but geez, be a little more cold to Sam. His self-esteem really needs it. And Sam, pause off! See, I'm not one of those people who believes that teenagers, boys or girls, sit there thinking all day, I want to sleep with this person, I want to sleep with this person, I want to sleep with this person. Especially when you have no food, no water, no parents, are kind of in the middle of a war, and just found out that you have a twin brother that your mother did not tell you about. Really? All of this going on, I really don't think sleeping with Astrid should be that big of a deal. I mean, Sam, I'm not an expert on these things, but maybe you might want to wait until you're not dying. Which leads me to the other thing, Cain and Diana's relationship. I don't even need to say anything about it, but it's, you know, always been that way. It just gets worse with each book. All in all, the sexuality of this book is way too high for me sometimes. I mean, come on, how old are they? 15? 15. And it's like I said before, these kids should have other things to worry about, like surviving. The best part of this book is Sam Temple. Besides his whole me want Astrid train of thought, I love the kid because he, besides Decca, Lana, Adelio, and that kid who has a crush on Lana, is the only sane person in this book. And then there's always those parts where Sam comes in all heroically and saves the day. I just love that. He's so hot. The storyline I really could have lived without was Taylor and Sam. Taylor? No. Just no. I'm also sick of the storyline with the human crew. Just get over it. For the 100th time, these kids are starving. They have no adults. And they're sitting there with their pitchforks complaining that some kids have powers and they don't. Gee, why don't you make an alliance with those kids with powers and try to figure something out so that you don't die? I think this is what makes the book so great, is because the whole time you're shouting your opinions to the book like they can listen to you. Yeah, good idea. Let's follow the creepy voice inside our head who wants us to call it Master. No, that's good. Go ahead and attack Drake unarmed. No, Diana, it's cool. Sleep with Cain without protection. Nothing bad could come of that. Anyways, don't let my negative viewpoints get you down. It's really more frustration, and that's what makes the book so great. They're actually one of my favorite series going on right now. Besides the annoyances, they're captivating and really exciting. So I recommend that you give these a try. Mostly because they're really underrated. Not a lot of people know about them, and a lot of people should. I'm personally rooting for a movie. So anyways, subscribe, comment, thumbs up if you're Team Sam, thumbs down if you're Team Talking Coyotes. Yes, that's a legitimate thing in the books.